such an impressive crab. Go, 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 go. Oh. And we can see one, we've got one. I just caught it and tightened. Look at that crab. I'm really excited to share this video with you guys. We've been on this island, a 100-hectare private island in the Pacific Ocean, a northern remote part of Vanuatu for the last 3 weeks, and today's our final day, so I'm going to try and jam-pack as much as we can into it. We've set traps overnight for wild bushfowls. We got coconuts, crabs and wild pigs last night. We're swimming off the beach this morning to go onto the reef to see if we can get some fish for a big island style fish and chip cook up. It's going to be a good one. If you've ever thought what it's like to live on a tropical island, hunt, forage, culture, adventure, this is the episode. Let's do it. The entire island has a fringing reef that wraps the whole way around, and there's a few protected sections now that wind's blowing up a little bit. So we're going to swim straight off the beach and see if we can spear a fish. Oh, they're so hard to get close to. All right, we've made it. We're out on the reef. Only a little bit further, and that'll be the drop off. See anything?
Yeah, bass birds.
Was there a few? What? It's such a spooky fish. Amazing fish, terrible shot. Surgeon fish. Gotta watch out for the spikes though here, and those sharp scalpels on the back. One was the easiest fish that I've shot this trip. I just swam down and shot it. I didn't even film it. I was like, oh, I probably won't even get close to it. And then it just didn't move. There's the spoils of a shore dive. A Japanese sea bream, or just a sand sea bream, parrotfish, and a surgeon. Bit of a mixed bag. I'll play you a bit of footage from last night out with the torches. Just come for a walk down on the beach here. You can hear the waves crash, and only 5-10 meters away. That one there's a pretty small one. It's maybe 2 or so years old. Supposedly they reach sexual maturity after 5, so we'll be leaving this one to go and do his best. See you, mate? They're just everywhere. Look at him. This is another small one, but it's just cruising along the trunk of this tree. There's a few crabs up here. Look at that crab. That there's what we're after, coconut crab. Been mugging on that bait for hours. Now he might be a little bit switched on that he can smell us here and... Have a go at that crab. You just grab them, but these coconut crabs, they're such an impressive crab. True to their name, these nippers here crack open the husk of dry coconuts, but also then through the shell to eat the meat. It's incredibly impressive. Their grip strength is so bloody strong. Even just fighting against it there. Like, yeah, ooh yeah. Yeah, they're insanely strong. It honestly feels like a bit of an indulgence to have coconut crab curry tonight. We caught one last night and John got two in the early hours of this morning, about 4 AM. But we're gonna let these ones go close to where we caught them last night. I don't think John's gonna be too impressed. The couple that we've got go, they're gonna get bigger, they're gonna breed up, do a lot of shagging along the beach here, and then next time we come back, we'll have a good feed of coconut crab. Oh, they're so strong. The reason we've got this vine around them is that basically any other way that you try and store them, they'll bite out of wire, they'll bite through hardwood timber, but if you hang them right around the back of their shell at the back, they can't get to it. It's your lucky day, mate. We got pig for dinner, so you get going. We'll see you another time. Big school there. Oh! We're taking a walk along this exposed bay on high tide. There's big schools of sea mullet that come right up against the shore. The boys have got a bow and Eddie's got the hand spear that he's made up.
Ah, very close.
Very close.
Yeah.
That was really close. Yeah. I think just one, hey? Geez, it'd be hard going getting just one, but I wouldn't put it past him. He was honestly probably 3 inches away from nailing this sea mullet. One lone mullet by itself. There is a massive school of mullet that stretches about 15 meters long. There's probably 100 fish about 12 meters off the beach. Let's see if they come in close enough for Eddie to get a shot. We're just laying low on the edge of the beach trying to wait for this ginormous school of mullet to come a little bit closer to the shore within spearing distance. Oh, they're just there, but not close enough. We waited for a good 15 minutes for these mullet to come in closer, but they're just sticking out wide. They know something's up. We'll keep moving. Just come down to a different section of the island, had a different tide to see if we can try and hand spear these mullet again. We saw a massive school earlier before, but they just wouldn't come in close enough. Shot off here. Oh, 3! You got 3 in one shot. Well done, bro.
For my lunch.
For your lunch?
Yeah.
That's how he kills it, just bite it. There's a moray eel here, pretty much with its back out of the water, hunting right on the edge of the sand. We're just coming around this point here, Eddie starts yelling, hey, hey, canoe, canoe, canoe. And there's this dugout canoe, pretty battered up, just washed up overnight on the high tide. In here under the foliage. Really small timber, one-piece dugout canoe with a couple of outriggers for stabilization on the side that's pretty battered and beaten. Feel for whoever's lost their dugout canoe. You ready to go? Where are you heading?
Or, I don't know, get John some tobacco from Solar, I reckon.
Walking through the center of the island, pretty much from one side all the way to the other, there's thousands and thousands of coconut palm trees all around me, all around the village, and it's an established coconut plantation. Now, every single day that we've been here, coconut has been an important factor, whether it's in the meals, whether it's in the huts that we're staying, whether it's in the fires that we're building. Coconuts are the tree of life and they're used in just about everything. If you're cruising along the coast and around the islands, if you see crowns of coconut palm trees all together, you know, thousands. You'll be able to tell like there's a village or people not too far away. Especially in the remoter parts of these islands, there is zero tourism pretty much. So the only form of income is through copra, which is the byproduct of the coconut, where the coconut meat, the mature coconut meat, is smoked. It's a really full-on labor-intensive job that's just 24/7 non-stop. So they're collecting them from around the bases of the coconut, they're putting them in a big chamber, they're smoking them up, and then that there is sent all around the world and used in different food products and different cosmetic products, and provides, yeah, these villages with work and with income, you know, so kids can go to school, they can buy bags of rice, you know, they can buy, you know, a lot of the things that they can't make. Here on Quokea Island specifically, they don't process the coconuts for copra. They actually use every single coconut that falls down on the ground for feeding the animals, because they've got pigs, they've got ducks, they've got quails, chickens, they set traps for coconut crabs. All of them are pretty much used. They also use them to re-veg in areas that have erosion from big storms, because the root systems of the coconut holds the shoreline together. So the mighty coconut have furthered my knowledge and love for them yet again. I'm just coming around the edge of the village now. It's just everything they've got here is optimized for making sure they don't run out of food, and have a lot of variety of food. So they got a few different sections of orchards where they're growing like different produce. They've got the duck section, they get eggs from them and also breed the ducks up for meat. Chickens, roosters, there's wild fowls on the island, which we've got that trap set for. They've got pigs, both wild and domesticated. They've got guinea pigs, they've got rabbits, in a really, really solid enclosure so that they don't get out and cause environmental havoc. It's a really impressive setup, and definitely like optimized for feeding sort of 12 to 20 people, but also having enough to barter with other islands that have, you know, produce that they don't grow or hunt here. Just come back in and filleting up the fish. We're gonna, under the tree up near the hut, get a fire going and then do fish and chips, island style, for lunch, which I'm really looking forward to. Really value the importance of meals here on the islands, particularly for lunch and dinner. Everyone chips in, gets the firewood, you know, sets up the fireplace, grabs all the different cooking utensils, all the different features to the meal, and then comes together for quite a long and drawn out process of like yarning and laughing and prepping the food, and then in the next half an hour eating the food, which is a special one. If you come in close here, cassava, these have been chopped into chips. They're going to get fried up, and then we've normally been cooking the fish up whole on the fire, but today we've opted for fish and chips, filleted the fish up, chopped them into chunks. The girls have made up a batter here. We're going to go battered fish and chips, which is a proper treat I haven't had for a good while. So just stick around to see how lunch turns out, and then this afternoon we're going to go for more of an explore around the island for our last day. And then tonight we've got a really special meal lined up. We caught a wild pig last night at about 8 o'clock that was munching on a big mound of coconuts. The boys ran up, grabbed it behind the legs, we tied it up with some vine, and we're going to do that pig on a spit tonight for dinner. How is it? There's lunch. The chips growing out the back of the village, cassava chips, and the fish speared probably 200 meters off the front of where we're staying. 12 of us here. We're going to clean all this food up and then head back out onto the island to see what we can get up to for the afternoon. Right now we need to go check a couple of wildfowl traps. Fingers crossed. We've checked them quite a few times and we haven't got anything, so hopefully we've snared something. We've just come into the scrub here for the 4th time to check these fowl traps, and we can see one. We've got one. It's just caught it and tightened around its leg. It's only probably been here, we checked it maybe an hour and a half ago. It's just walked up in here, eating on some of this grated coconut and gone caught up in that tree. Hey, we got one. We got one. Well done. We really did have our doubts. We checked quite a few times over the last 2 days. Hey, don't bite his leg off now, mate. Eddie, how are you going to cook it up?
Strong curry.
Strong curry. Chicken curry.
Chicken curry, chicken.
So we thought we'd set up a trap in full light so you can see the full setup. So we've got a stick here that's got a lot of flex and strength in it. It's generally you'd use a live one and just trim it up. And then that's bent here. And then there's a strong vine around it made into a noose. And then there's a lever system set up. Your prey will walk up, have a little walk around, eat the bait, eat the shredded coconut. And then as soon as it steps on this stick here, come and get a closer look. This is what happens. Oi! There's a big hollow tree here right up from the beach, and deep in there, there's a really good chance of there being coconut crabs. Coconut crabs are all through the South Pacific. They're the largest land crab in the entire world. They lay their eggs in the ocean. The tide then drifts them up as they form, and then they come up to land to live their life. And as the name suggests, they live on coconuts. We're going to set a trap. They come out at night to feed. So there's most likely one sitting up the back of this log, or two or three, or a few living in the base of this tree. So I've got a very mature coconut that's got meat inside. I've just got a bush knife and I cut a slit into it to expose it, make it easy and enticing for the coconut crab, and then just use some of the husk to tie around a stick, wedge it into the ground to hold it there so the coconut crab can't drag that coconut back in. And then ideally we come out with some torches later, maybe 8 at night check, then at midnight, then at 3 in the morning, and just see if there's a coconut crab feasting on the meat inside this nut here. So fingers crossed we'll come back and check in a couple of hours after the sun sets. Alright, I just zhuzhed up for our final dinner here. Got my only clean shirt on. This also is the hut that we've been staying in for the last few nights. It's phenomenal, built out of hardwood timber here. Got a view over the ocean, you can hear the waves crashing. It's unbelievable. I can smell the pig cooking on the fire. Dinner's gonna be so good. Look, if you have enjoyed these episodes and like the experiences that we've been having appeals to you, you actually can book this sort of an experience and come and do this yourself. The island that we're on is called Quakea Island. So check it out, jump online, message Brett and the team if this is something that you'd like to come and do. It's in northern Vanuatu. It's super remote, it's authentic, it's cultural, it's adventurous, it's everything that we love. And I'm sure there's so many of you out there watching this that are like, oh, I'd love to go and do that. So I don't say this lightly. It's paradise on earth and I highly recommend it. John, he's the fire king. We were just on the beach and I just hear, oh, Eddie got a mullet, Eddie got a mullet. Go, 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 go. Oh. Woo. Cacete. Si. Eddie, show us what you got, bro. Finally got a mullet. Well done, bro. You're not gonna bite that one's head? No. Me? You're biting him straight on the top of the head. I got a scale and blood and a bit of the gill guts, but that's pretty much dead. There's dinner. This has been going for maybe 4 hours and it smells so good. And here's the man, John the chef. Oh, and the mullet went on too.
So good, it's so juicy and so tender.
5 hours, slow cooked pig on the fire. Caught last night, out the back. Probably just... Hope you enjoyed the episode. See you next week.